Hi traders, this is Andrew and I just want to show you what to look for in terms of the head and shoulders pattern. So first things first, we want to identify a key level of resistance from your daily or 4-hour chart. And you can see we're currently looking at the daily chart here. You want to look at the major swing. So from this swing high down to this low, that's what I would call a major swing, and you want to draw your Fibonacci tool as we show you in section 2. And you can see price is currently around the 38% level. So it's around these areas here. If we just take a horizontal line, drop it down, 38 level, it's around these areas here that you want to start looking for possible patterns. See at this 50 area as well, we've got an area of resistance here becoming support. Also something you want to watch. So if we just move over to the 4-hour chart now, maybe we can fine tune the level slightly. Here again, you look at the swing down, that's the major swing, and you see the 38 level, nice resistance, holding. So it's around these areas here, you want to look for a pattern. Alternatively, if you look up, have a look at this block right here. This is the area, remember we referenced that in section 2, fine tune your entry. Just zoom this in, this is what you want to be looking for. See this consolidating area here, and price takes a nice plunge down. Reference this area, that last little white candle in that block before we really release to the downside. That's a nice little order block sitting there, and you'll have orders starting to stack up around that area. So here again, you could choose to use a limit order there, but as I showed you in this course, we're looking for specific patterns. Okay, so once we've identified our key areas of support and resistance from the larger swings, higher time frames, just mark these areas off. Okay, so we can mark this area here. You can see prices already hit the level here, so if there's no pattern forming there, you want to start looking slightly higher up to your next area. So these are the two areas we want to pay close attention to. And if we just have a look at the hourly chart here, we just step this forward, you can see price comes up to the area, stalls out. So these are the areas here, you see 38 and that resistance. These are the areas you're looking for those patterns. Okay, so we've now spiked through the 38, coming up into that next area. Bang. Alright, so there's that area that we marked off from the 4-hour, that order block being hit. Nice rejection here. So now it's just a matter of looking for a pattern. So I'm going to just remove this eclipse. You can see that area, the 50, and that resistance area being hit. So just wait for some sort of confirmation in terms of patterns. Here we're going over the head and shoulders pattern and what to look for. And I'll just zoom this up. So you can see price breaking down, and you can see this formation. We have a nice push up, take some orders out as explained in the example, drops lower, and then we have the spike up into our key area of resistance from that daily chart, and we start rejecting. You see how we take this low out right here? So what you want to do is you want to reference this point on the left hand side. Okay, so if this is the left shoulder, you can see how we have price shifting up nicely. We then have this drive deeper, picking up those orders at that key area of resistance. Now we've broken to the downside. You can see how we've cracked this low, and if you draw a little trend line in here, you can see we find support along the way. Break, actually retested the area very briefly and then dropped. So we're now setting up for a possible head and shoulders, and the most important level for me right now is looking across to this left shoulder, so that we have a left equals right. We can draw fibs into this, but the most important number for me is this area. So if we just put our eclipse across here again, you can highlight these areas because these are where you want to start looking for limit orders to be placed. Draw some fibs in here. Now get rid of this trend line, and this is the area here that we're looking to place a trade. So let's move it forward slightly. Alright, so once price starts to break up towards that 38, so getting ready to put an order in, what I want to do is I want to look to sell it about a pip or two just below this swing high. The high is 23.27. Initial stop's going to go above the high up here, so it's going to be quite a heavy stop, and it's quite nice if you are working full time or you just want to swing trade these things. You don't have to be in front of your chart all day long. Okay, these patterns take a good few days to set up. So what I want to do is I want to place a stop just above the high, and I'm going to target the lows here, about 100 points give or take. So if we just go in to our orders, new pending order, we will discuss orders in the next section where we go over specifics of entry, stops and take profits, so don't be too worried about that for now. So I'm going to put an order in at 23.25, like 2 pips below this swing, just in case we miss it, and a stop loss above. So we said what about? Let's move it down to up to 60, and we can add, let's say 65. So just above the high here. You could even go as high as 70. So about 70 points of risk, and I'm going to look at targeting down towards the lows. Now the take profit's going to be up to you. Like I said, you can go for 1-to-1, you can go for the old lows or the extensions. It's really dependent on the market environment and also the type of trader you are. So targets 22, 25 area, go down towards these lows, maybe a few pips above that, maybe let's say 30. Place that in, and here again you can set your alert. So we're looking about 90, 95 or 70. Okay, to start the trade, and we're looking for a move to the upside. So if we just draw this in, we're looking for that move up and then that drop to form that head and shoulders. So we just move this forward. Remember, if price breaks the lows, you'll just need to redraw your fibs on this swing down. But we've identified a higher time frame key resistance area. Alright, so we've just been taken into the level, and it's very important to place your orders into the marketplace like this in a limit order. We try and chase this. You can see price hits the level, and already we're 11 pips up. So we just follow this along. Now obviously, depending on the type of trader you are, you can look to reduce your risk on the trade if you want to. For this example, I'm just going to leave it as is and just shoot for our target down towards the low. So you can see if you move the stop to break even, already you were up about almost 50 pips on the trade, and prices obviously had a rally back up. You see how it moves slightly deeper, just filling some orders just above the level. So you're looking for that continuation down now. And these patterns can take a while. This is an hourly chart. Alright, so there we've had that nice release down into those lows, and we've just been taken out, and you can see that was worth 95 pips on the trade. So nice little trade, and here again structured from a higher time frame key resistance area. So there's the pattern: left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we're looking to play the right shoulder on a limit order. Stops above the high. This is the way I like to trade it. Targets, like I said, old lows or the extensions. Old lows are very reliable, especially with these patterns. So just a quick recap on that. We identified key resistance from the daily or 4-hour chart. This is the 4-hour swing down. There's that order block that we reference right there. Pay close attention to that area. Price spikes up, hits the level, releases nicely, and then we get that hourly head and shoulders pattern where we're looking to trade that right shoulder, anticipating that right shoulder. So we get the left and the head forming. This low gets taken out, price rallies, limit order set in. You can see price sits here for a good few hours, and we get that nice release to the downside. And we just follow price along. You can see price starts to find support at these lows. So a good place to be looking for profits. And you can see if your stop was at break even, you would have been stopped out. Alternatively, you can see price actually runs towards the highs here, just above the highs, filling those orders, and we release to the downside. So it's just the way it goes. Good place to watch those lows or highs depending on the pattern. Hope you found that helpful.